What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you see a Patreon account. If you click it, become a member. All you got to do is recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to, so click the link. Now, with that being said, don't forget to hit the damn like button. It helps the video move. It helps this channel grow, and it helps this video get into rotation. And that's what I need here. And then don't forget to check out the Patreon link below. I just said that, but click it. Make sure you check it out. Help support the channel. You know what I'm saying? Since I did the best movies of 2022, I'm going to do now my top 5 worst movies of 2022. Now, I had a lot to work with when I was constructing this list, so it was a little bit more complicated trying to figure out which movies I hated the most. I try not to flood it too much with horror movies because that's an easy way to go, because a lot of horror movies have really basic plots, really basic storylines. So I tried to diversify it as much as possible, right? But let us get this going with my honorable mention list. So my honorable mention list for the top 5 worst movies of 2022 is Elvis, one of those movies. Yeah, so Elvis, right? Although it's not a horrible fucking movie, it was bad in the sense of pacing, telling a story. It was all over the place. And on top of that, I hated the fact that they used modern day music in a biopic. You shouldn't have done that. You could have. Elvis has a huge catalog of music. It's no way in hell that we had to hear Doja Cat sing during this movie. That made absolutely no freaking sense. You know what I'm saying? But the visuals in this movie were amazing. The aesthetics of this movie was amazing. The dude that plays Elvis is amazing, dude. Like, and it sucks because I really feel like they wasted his potential. I forgot the name of the guy that freaking filmed this movie, but the director's movie dropped the ball completely. Didn't like the way he filmed this movie, and it took me out of the movie completely. His directing choice was atrocious, and this movie could have been a top 5 movie of the year versus the top 5 worst movie of the year. So just based off of that, I'm just throwing that in the list. That was an honorable mention. The next one is The Mean One, David Howard Thornton's Grinch-inspired horror movie, right? Now, I know this movie is supposed to be crappy. I know it's supposed to be campy. It's not supposed to be taken serious, but at the same time, there's some things that you have to just call a spade, you know? I love David Howard Thornton. I love everything that he does, and he kills it as the Grinch. Single-handedly kills it as the Grinch. The main chick in the movie too, the antagonist, Cindy, you know who, she kills it in this movie. The comedy aspects in this movie, hilarious. The Jewish jokes, and then also the them trying not to say the Grinch's name, hilarious, right? But on top of that, like, this is still a horror movie. It's supposed to be a horror comedy movie. So the fact that we didn't actually get to see the blood in the movie, the fact that we didn't really get to see any of the deaths in the movie, it was kind of a letdown. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you had the CGI things that in the movie that could have been easily attained, like a fish, like a sign, the filming of the movie turned out really bad, like because of the lighting aspect of it. You can tell that they were filmed at 2 different times. And I just want to just say that this movie was bad just because of directorial choices. You know what I'm saying? If they would have kept the movie as is and just would have did a little bit better at, like, you know, just touching things up, not using stock CGI, not using stock footage, that would have made this movie a whole lot better. You didn't have to do that shit in order to make people feel, and that's why this one's getting an honorable mention. Jurassic Park Dominion. Jurassic Park Dominion was honestly one of the crappiest movies I've seen, and it's crazy that they're continuously making this franchise. They're continuing this franchise. Is wild. And this movie was super freaking cash grab. They're trying to every movie now, especially that's based on like an older movie or something like that, they're banking in too much on the legacy cast. And this movie did that to the T. It tried so hard to cash grab, and they just failed horribly. This Jurassic World, I actually liked it. Everything after that was freaking trash, and it sucks that this was one of my most beloved franchises growing up, and all of a sudden it's just become rubbish. But yeah, that gets an honorable mention. The next one is Uma. I know a lot of you guys probably haven't heard of it, but Uma is the story of this mom and daughter, Korean, I believe, or Vietnamese. I don't remember. They're Asian. Okay. So it's about this Asian family where the mom has like this phobia to like electricity, like she can't be around electricity because she's afraid of I think she was tortured or something as a kid. Something happened where she's afraid of electricity. What ends up happening is her mom passes away and she has to give her mom a proper burial, but she refuses to do so because she hates her mom because her mom was an asshole. Her mom used to torture her. And because of this, it releases some sort of evil entity or something like that that bothers her the whole movie. Now I'm thinking like, yo, this is gonna be a tight ass movie. But when I'm watching it, it was the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. The pacing was off. The characters were lacking like originality. They were lacking personality, and then on top of that, the little CGI poltergeist thingy was also terrible. So if you guys have not seen Umar already, it's not something that you want to see. So just take my word for it. It's not that good. All right. So going into the actual top 5 of the worst movies of 2022, we're coming in at number 5 with David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future. Now I sat through this movie and I'm expecting, something. I'm a Cronenberg fan. I love The Fly. I love some of his other work too. But I went into this movie thinking, you know what, like this got to be something. There's something to this. There's something more to this. Crimes of the Future, crazy title. And you have like the movie opening up with some kid eating plastic, and I'm like, okay, whatever. This motherfucker's eating plastic, cool. And throughout the movie, you find out that there's this whole society. They're just, I guess they don't feel pain, so they're just like continuously altering themselves and doing crazy things in order to feel because society has lost the ability to feel. And I know it's supposed to sound symbolic or something, but it's fucking horrible. Anyway, so there's like this detective or some shit, or I don't even know. What was the purpose of this dude? This dude went on this long ass investigation thing for nothing. Like this, it's just some dude going and he's just doing weird things to his body, and they're like art performers, and it's just this movie doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna say it. Like the movie doesn't make sense. There's no reasoning behind anything that's in a stupid movie. The whole movie is basically to set up this idea that these plastic eaters are supposedly like the next generation of the evolutionary trait. It's so fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's so dumb. They make these stupid little purple candy bar things that they eat, and it's because they're trying to like force their bodies to evolve. Because I guess humanity has it started evolving in order to like deal with anything, and they evolved rapidly. Because dude that gets his organs or whatever cut out, like he ends up growing them back, and then that's why he kind of they're like a freak show type thing. It's like a performing arts. Like the girl commits. She performs surgery on him, and everybody watches, and it's amazing because like his body just grows a stupid organ again, or grows another organ. But again, this movie makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm waiting for the movie to conclude and then like make everything wrap up and like, oh, okay, that's the purpose of this movie. And you're left leaving the movie there like, what the fuck did I just watch? I personally was like so close to walking out of the movie theater to ask for my money back, but I was like, you know what? This is going to lead to something. It's definitely going to lead to something. I fought the urge to take out my phone. I fought the urge to like get on the internet and look around and do stuff, but that movie was super boring, dude. Crimes of the Future was terrible. Like I'm surprised I didn't put it as number 1. But anyway, moving on. We have coming in at number 2, Master. This was like an Amazon release thing. It was straight to Amazon. It stars what's her name? I can't think of her name. But anyway, the movie is basically this black woman is put in charge of like a black sister sorority type thing, college, right? She's like the overseer of like the specific college part, right? And what ends up happening is this college has like a dark history, and she begins to see shit in her little dormitory, right? And she's trying to like avoid this whole idea of like racism within the college or whatever. This young student who's a straight A student just came. She's being treated like an asshole by her white roommates, right? Go figure, right? And what ends up happening is like these racist things start happening, like nooses and shit start happening or whatever. And you find out that I think the first black girl in college was killed. The first black girl that attended that college was hung or some shit like that. And it's just this whole like virtual signaling, like tropey shit, right? Now, me personally, I don't have a problem with black horror. Now, when I mean black horror, I don't mean like comedy horror. I mean like black horror as in this new genre that has that's kind of presented itself after Jordan Peele's Get Out. Don't have a problem with it. Love it, I love the fact that there's more African American directors and filmmakers and film writers coming to the light and showing that they're interested in making these horror movies. Because I remember back then the only black horror movie we had was Candyman, right? And then after that, it was always something stupid like, oh, like there's this obsessive black man stalking this woman and she has to survive. Like it's so stupid, it's so tropey. I hated it. It's stereotypical. So it's cool to see like more. Oh yeah, and then Tales from the Hood. Shout out to Tales from the Hood. But anyway, it was just good to see more movies coming out that aren't just following that same tropiness. But then you had Antebellum, which to me was a stupid fucking movie. And then you have this movie, Master, which is also a stupid fucking movie, because the end of the movie, like the movie goes all the way through just to find out that this chick got hired just to be like, for diversity purposes, which is the dumbest shit ever. And then the way that they introduced the person who's actually committing these acts in the movie is so fucking stupid. The twist in the movie is so fucking stupid. The way that this movie was executed was just so fucking stupid. Like it's dumb. It's dumb as shit. I wasted an hour and some change watching this movie, and I regret to tell you that that movie was trash. So, yet another movie that attempts to do what Jordan Peele does and does not do it successfully. If you want to see a movie or a series that does do that successfully, I would recommend watching Them on Amazon. That is a freaking amazing show. But kudos to that. So, coming in at number 3, we have Pearl. Now, everybody's going to be pissed off at me. David, what? You didn't like Pearl? I liked X. I didn't like Pearl. Like, X was cool. I liked it. It's not something that didn't blow me away. Like, a lot of people were sucking off X and saying it was a crazy movie. It wasn't that great. It was good. I enjoyed it. But it's not something where I'm going to say it's the greatest fucking horror movie ever. Like, it's okay. It was cool. So then we have Pearl, right? Pearl is the prequel to X, which is about the old lady, Pearl, and how she grew up and how she became the way that she became or whatever. And it comes off as kind of like a tropey, like musical type thing mixed with horror. And like, I know that it was done on purpose. I know that was the reason why they did it. But the movie was aesthetically like great to look at. Like the bright colors, like I love the bright colors. Like it was good. It pops. It makes you want to look at it. Like, the visuals and shit like that. But outside of that storyline was stupid. The storyline was dumb as shit. I didn't like it. Again, this is another movie that tries to introduce the whole theatrical aspect, right? The theater aspect. And they didn't do it right. It's a way to do it where you don't overwhelm the audience. I watch plays and shit all the time, so I'm not like foreign to it. It's not like I don't like plays. I don't like the way they executed it. Like it comes off as very like fake. It doesn't come off as real. It doesn't come off as authentic. And I'm not on this Mia Goth train. Everybody's on this Mia Goth train talking about Mia Goth is God. Da 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 da. She's the next thing. I ain't on that train. I ain't on that wave. Like she's all right, but it ain't nothing where I'm going to say that she's the greatest ever to touch the fucking, step on stage. Y'all hyping this broad up. She ain't even that good. But anyway, this movie was whack. Didn't really enjoy it. The colorfulness was tight. Storyline was dumb as shit. I didn't like the tropey little play aspect of it. And I know, like I said, I know people are going to get mad at me. I don't care. I was so bored watching the movie. I pulled out my phone a couple of times. I kept checking the runtime. And I think this movie's long as hell, too, and it didn't help it. This movie could have been trimmed like a motherfucker. But anyway, we have yet another A24 movie that tries to be original. And it is original. I just couldn't get behind it, like, at all. It was just dumb, dude. I'm sitting there waiting like, okay, kill somebody already, because this is obviously what you want to do. You obviously have exhibited psychopathic behavior. Go ahead and cut loose, because I'm tired of sitting there waiting for you to kill these parents. Just kill them already. Like stop taunting me and telling me what you're going to do. Just do it. It's such a dumb movie, such a dumb motive behind a killer. It's fucking dumb. Anyway, so yeah, Pearl gets that number. What slot? Number three or whatever. Yeah, number 3. Coming in at number 2, yet another horror movie. The Hulu exclusive Hellraiser movie. Yeah, I'm saying it. So I got the opportunity to watch Hellraiser months before it came out. And the movie that I saw is exactly the stupid movie that came out on Hulu. So not really surprised by that. This movie is about a young girl battling drug addiction and her brother who disappears because he opened a box, and then her basically trying to find a way to get her brother back because she thinks there's a way to get him back, which there's not, you know. And then we get introduced to the Cenobites. They do their Cenobite thing, and then we have a conclusion to the end of the movie, which kind of like segues into like a possible sequel. Now, everybody's like, yo, Pinhead's a female. I'm not SJW, da 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 da, whatever. I don't care that I believe her name was Jamie, right? Jamie was who's technically a man because she's a transgender, so she technically was born a man, so it's not like she's a woman. But anyway, I don't feel like she did a horrible Pinhead, right? I wasn't bothered that Pinhead was presented as a woman. Like that doesn't bother me like at all. What does bother me is that Pinhead was presented like a weenie, right? Pinhead is supposed to be the leader of the Cenobites. He's supposed to present himself in a manner, he or she is supposed to present himself in a manner where he is the leader. He's the clear-cut leader. He's the center focus of the room. Every time he steps in front of the camera, you want to see it. It's supposed to be like Joker in Dark Knight, right? It's supposed to be like William Cutting in Gangs of New York. Every time this person steps in front of the camera, they demand your attention. I didn't get that from that Pinhead character. They were just another Cenobite, just another Cenobite. The whole idea that the Cenobites could be locked out by using a replica of the lament configuration was stupid. The fact that this movie's whole plot was so that this man can get this freaking wind-up toy pulled out of his back was stupid. Like, when you really break this movie down to the nucleus, it's dumb as shit. Like, it's dumb as fuck. And the less you want to admit it, the more you're just going to just suck this movie off. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't fun. It didn't feel very Hellraiser-ish. I was expecting to see a lot more practical. This movie's riddled with CGI. You have a whole CGI piece of skin walking around. I was talking to Chatterer from Hellraiser 3, and he was talking about how the movie cut corners by utilizing CGI. And he understands why they did it, because, the amount of time that it would take to apply that makeup would be significantly long, right? So what he did was they purposely didn't do certain parts of the neck so that when they could just clean it up with the CGI. I mean, there's nothing wrong, but at the same time, it's like these things are very noticeable to the audience members. Like, I think that CGI is overused in a movie like this. We should have seen more practical. The storyline they decided to tell wasn't original. I didn't like the characters. The movie was just trash altogether. And I'm just being honest with you right now. So that's my number 2, I believe. Coming in at number 1, we have Jeepers Creepers, right? Reborn. Jeepers Creepers Reborn attempts to tell a story where the Creeper is like this urban legend, that people know about, and it's become like this YouTube phenomenon. And what ends up happening is this young couple is going to like a sort of like a convention, like a horror festival. And it's a good fucking idea, right? Like, that's a good fucking idea to have this young couple going to a horror festival and then having the Creeper just kind of like wake up and then wreak havoc on all of the people in this festival. Sounds like a freaking amazing idea, poorly fucking executed. So the director at the beginning of the movie comes on and tells you, oh, we really run into all these little incidents because of COVID, da 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 da. We did what we had to do. Hope you guys enjoy. Automatically, when I hear this, I'm like, well, fuck, like, this is about to be a terrible movie. This is going to be a shitty fucking movie, because if you have to already make excuses for why this movie doesn't look good, then we're already having problems. But this movie is riddled with horrible CGI. The main 2 characters are not fucking believable. The cast around them are not believable. And when I say this movie has bad CGI, I mean it has really bad CGI. There's a scene where it looks like it was done by a freaking kindergartner, like the way that it's performed. It's towards the end of the movie. The plot behind it was stupid. Like there's like some ancient cult or something that's trying to appease the creeper or something like that. It's just so stupid. The way that this movie was conducted was just so fucking dumb. All you had to do was just have the festival, have the creeper run loose, fuck shit up. That's all you had to do. But it sucks because it's like his makeup and his design wasn't even that good. Like it was super just trashy. Like the makeup design just was horrible. It was atrocious. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you cannot have a classic character like the Creeper and just give it to fucking anybody. I petition that we reboot this franchise and we give the rights to the character to Damian Leone. I believe that he would make sure that this character is done correctly and that we don't have any more of this bullshit that we just got right now. It's no reason why that movie should have been as bad as it was. He's a classic character. Everybody knows his name. He's a household name. So all you have to do is just perform it well. But you pick some trash ass. I can deal with the bad acting, but I can't deal with the fact that you're CGIing sets. You're CGIing sets when it's like you can easily go walk to like an open wooded area and go film. Like I'm pretty sure you can find a woodland area somewhere. I'm pretty sure you can find a cemetery somewhere. I'm pretty sure that you can find a wooded area, buy some props and make it look like a cemetery. It's not that complicated, especially if you have some of the money, you know. But this movie was riddled with CGI. It has bad characters. It's a bad plot. And this is my number one movie for the worst movie of the year. So that's my top 5 worst movies of the year. What are your top 5 worst movies of the year 2022? Please keep it this year. Please let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. I want to make sure that we grow a community here. Make sure you guys hit the like button because that also helps this damn video keep in rotation and keeps it moving. And then also make sure that you guys tell me down below in the comment section, what is your top 5 worst movies of 2022? I need to know. So also make sure you guys go to the description, click the Patreon link, check it out. You guys can actually tell me to watch a movie and I will review it just for you. The video will be dedicated to you. So make sure you go check that out. It's a pretty cool feature, something simple, and it also helps me out to create content, you know. But anyway, that's my top 5 list. What's your top 5 worst list? Let me know in the comment section down below. You are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are having a magnificent day. Adios, homies.